my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue our Cinnamon Almanac. Okay, I promise you I'll never get it right. It's an impossible word because it doesn't actually exist.
Cinnalmanac.
Yeah, okay.
Close.
That sounds like an ingredient we'll put in a healthy recipe, okay? No, we are looking forward with much excitement, sitting next to a happy, enthused, joyful JP Sebastian, looking into the movies that are coming. And this one is important to me because when it says family, okay, it means, okay, it's suitable for the kids to watch, but parents are also watching. So when you can track some really good films in this space that speak to the whole family, I'm there.
Yeah, and definitely as one of, well, this is number 3 that we were going to be talking about, Paddington 3.
In Peru.
In Peru is the proper name. Sorry, Paddington in Peru. Because remember in the previous ones, he keeps writing letters to Aunt Lucy, I think?
And it's the sweetest relationship potentially.
Have you seen any of the Paddingtons, Ralph? How dare you? Like, here's the secret.
Am I missing out?
Here's the secret. Like, it's a kid's movie, and you think, oh, it's just a cute bit. By the end of it, you're like, oh, my life has changed. Like, so many grown people cried for Paddington 2. It's a masterpiece.
And
not even
Grant in the previous was just amazing. He was just
out the park.
Great, man. And I would imagine, I'm hoping that there's going to be these kind of strong characters in
and
this.
And so Olivia Colman is in this.
Brilliant.
People might remember she won the Oscar for The Favourite, and she's brilliant in anything she does. She's obviously got a strong comedy background, and it's great to see like grown people taking the mickey out of themselves. So yes, definitely returning names there too. Oh, look at him.
He's just so sweet, man.
Like, oh man, what bums me out though is, like I said, after Paddington 2 ended up being this miracle of a masterpiece, it's like, it was just supposed to be about a cute bear. Why am I crying? Some of the ratings for this, like some critics, I've obviously not seen it yet, are giving it middling, kind of lukewarm. It's not the same director as before, but I suppose you can't keep the magic forever. That said though, as an option for the kids and for the whole family, I'm sure it can't do wrong. But story being here is that the bear is from Peru originally.
Of course.
And eventually he has to go back to see that Aunt Lucy falls into some trouble, and they're going to hunt for where she's gone missing to, and they have to search across the entirety of the Amazon. Oh yes, how can I not mention Antonio Banderas, who is another one of these actors who's so dynamic. Put him in anything, put him in everything, please. And he plays the baddie in this, I think.
I was going to say, because you need an oversized, larger-than-life baddie for these kind of films.
Baddie or
he's a human.
He's got like boots in boots.
The guy's again one of these actors who we're going to realize too late. It's like he was one of our greats.
He's a gem,
So yeah, I believe that there's a date for that. Whatever, you saw it for yourself.
It is the 21st of February, so not a long wait for that one.
The sadness, however, is in the next couple I'll talk about. There are no dates in South Africa just yet. Maybe we'll see some of these stories in season, like, you know, sometimes you get like a movie festival, animation festival.
Sure, yeah.
Hopefully, if shows like Expresso and JP's and all that.
And punt it, then it'll happen.
If we talk about it enough, hopefully we'll find interest for it, but whatever.
So let's talk about The Legend of Ochi.
Yeah, I don't even know how to say it, the name just yet.
Ochi.
I suppose you do know how to say Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
And it's A24, which I'm not going to be one of these snobs and say, oh, I kiss the ground that A24 walks on, but every movie they make is so good.
They're doing something special.
So whether it's Under the Skin, Moonlight, whether it's Hereditary, whether it's... And so they do really dark movies a lot, but this is a kids' movie. I think this might be one of their first family movies, the studio. A Legend of Ochi is this tiny island, I think, set in the Black Sea. And so there's sort of Slavic mythical feels to it. I don't know that Ochis are real things. We'll do our homework when the date comes for it. And they're told that these are scary demon creatures. They're all these bad things you've heard about them. Finn Wolfhard, of course.
Yeah, from Stranger Things.
That's right, sir. And there's the man. I love Willem Dafoe.
Willem is a legend.
Guys, please, I don't know, clone Antonio Banderas, clone Willem Dafoe. He's one of the best we've got. And this young lady finds out that not all Ochi are as demonic and evil as everyone made out. So again, similar to Paddington, which Paddington broke our hearts for, like, speaking to refugees just as living human beings who are trying to get by. This is another story of difference, and like other living things, other things are just trying to get through life just like you. Maybe you need to show some sympathy, some human empathy.
Yeah.
And what's blowing people's minds here, which is kind of scary, it's the sad state of affairs we're in, is everyone who's seen this trailer is like, there's no way that's puppeteered, that's not CG. There's no CG in this. What? For that tiny Ochi little dingus that you just saw there?
Puppeteering, man.
7 puppeteers all at once on that tiny dude. I don't know how they find... Look at these cool shots. It's a camera method I think they call tilt shift, where the town looks like a little toy town. So the grading, the coloring, all that kind of stuff, it's beautiful. Again, I spoke about this earlier, I'm so glad to see people using color and light. Not everything needs to be backlit, Disney. Why?
It looks like a
there's some-
Mogwai.
There's another Gremlins. Thank you. There we go. But hey, I think it might be based on some Slavic mythology. But the major payoff here is there's no computer effects. That's a real little duty.
That is crazy.
very
7 human beings. See, that's the sad state of affairs we're in. Like everyone's like, oh, surely everything is CG.
It's like we
by now.
forgot about that world.
That
eh?
there are humans out there who we could support who want to do this for a living, and
Yeah,
they do
like
it beautifully.
most of Star Wars was painted.
They call it matte prints or something
Yeah,
like that.
crazy,
There's that
man.
technique you're using here too, where they're these gigantic backgrounds that are all.
Okay, we're losing our flow.
Go for it.
Okay, how do we have a film with no one in it? Please explain this to me, okay?
The voice cast, no one.
No one. So
It's just a bunch of kitty meows and doggy woofs and capybara. Here's a little trick though. The capybara is not a capybara sound. The makers of this movie found that capybaras screech too much, so the sound was too violent.
So we went with a better version
they
of
went
it.
all in with the wrong
They
animal.
used baby camels. And in a time like this, where Hollywood should represent everyone, capybaras are trying to get jobs, guys. Flow has been called a masterpiece already. They're names that I deeply respect. You know Guillermo del Toro from Shape of Water.
Yeah.
He said this is one of the greatest films he's seen in his life. Hideo Kojima from Metal Gear Solid, one of the most amazing video game makers ever, has been punting this like mad. He's already invited the director, whose name is Gintis Zabolit. I'm an idiot here. Well, I'll see the name eventually. But the important thing is that name will, according to some reviewers, already be known as one of the greats already in animation.
Zibelodis.
There you go.
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Zibelodis.
And Flo, no voice actors. It's such like after seeing stuff like what was it now, the Wild Robot with Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes.
Well, she does a fantastic job.
That was
there were a lot of people who were just hoping, can you just have a robot with animals and no human voices? Like, can you bravely make a 2-hour movie? Long story short here, by the way, is that you got, again, we're speaking of refugees. And again, we're speaking of people of different strokes, all stuck on the same boat in an earth that's flooded. And so a kitty and a lemur and a capybara and a dog get stuck in what's apparently a masterpiece. I think that there's a brilliance in the tension between the cat looking very simple and the backgrounds looking masterful. That I think
Is there
is part
any
of the
sort
job.
of like reference with regards to Life of Pi and the symbolism
Good
behind what
point.
the elements represent?
There you go. You got your tiger in the boat. Thank you.
Oh,
Wow, you
that
smart
kind of
man.
makes sense. I like that.
No,
man.
you're wrong.
With that being said,
It was a good effort. See,
I love it.
when a movie doesn't have any talking on, best that we just don't talk, man. I absolutely love that. Very quickly, Sirocco and the Kingdom of the Winds.
A French animation. This blows my mind just looking at it as well. The style is so simplified, so simplistic, and look at that. Animations realize you can do scope, you can do scale, you can go as large and as crazy as you like. I think a lot of people are going to feel that there's a crossover between Studio Ghibli sort of feels. It's hard to escape that.
Yes.
Studio Ghibli is in our blood, in our veins, in our DNA by
That
now.
Spirited
There's
Away is the
However,
vibe, yeah.
I also get Adventure Time from this. Adventure Time is, guys, it's a masterpiece. And it looks like the animators might have taken from those sort of genetics, but it's its own style as well. The story being that these two young ladies get spirited into a world of their favorite book. Where those movies, remember in the 80s there was like someone gets sucked into a video game.
Yeah, that was
like,
the premise of every movie.
and it
yeah.
was so like, oh man, immersive and like
Yeah,
it stole
you
you
went
away.
with
Like,
them, yeah.
I didn't want to say spirited away again, but to their credit, despite all those Ghibli mentions, it really looks like it's trying to stand on its own 2 legs. This is definitely set. Look at that shot, man. That's so good. That's so beautiful. Just the
Beautiful.
composition. It will not get a date in South Africa because it's very niche. Latvia has offered it to the Academy as their official consideration for the Oscars, and it probably will win the Oscar for Best Animation. It's already been at Annecy is one of the animation equivalents. Of this.
Okay,
So it's
got the
sweeping.
nod.
It's
Well,
sweeping as a rule.
I look forward to talking about it again then when it hopefully gets the Oscar nod. Some beautiful films in action, in sci-fi, and now in family. JP Sebastian,
Bang.
you've nailed it, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Brilliant.
much. With that being said, the family are sorted, action movies sorted, sci-fi sorted.
Let's move.
So let's sort you out with some movement. Move the coffee table, baby, and let's dance. Street Style is up next.
Come on.
Pew, 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 pew.